you will just, you're there, your body's here with me, but really and truly, you're thinking about counting sheep. You're trying to sleep. So, does that count for the man? And I'm waiting for some men to answer that. If a woman is not be making herself inclusive in the equation, then is it still good to you? That's the question. Is it still good to you if the woman is just turning herself to the side? Y'all got to follow me on this because I know kids are in the car. We got to keep it PG, right? But the question is, does that still count? Does that still give her merit as a good wife or good girlfriend or whatever she is to you, if it is that she's not fully submerging herself in the experience, if it is that she's there but she ain't really there, if it is that you're in the act and she's not participating, does it still count? I'll wait on the answer to that. Oh, okay, we got one. This one says, we're already in that time, although it's not widespread. There are some people practicing that two-woman, one-guy relationship. But the question to that, AJ, is that because the guy just is greedy, straight up? One don't know about the next. And he, whether it's ego or for whatever reason his wife is not able to please him to the fullest, that he goes out and seek this. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the women understanding that they're not able to and will give consent. That's what I'm talking about. And under what rules? What are the rules? What are if we were to read the fine print, what is it saying? Is a bouncing castle still good deflated? Wow, Kevon. Like you just notice, just put a cap on it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I guess answer to that is no. But I want y'all to believe that there are a lot of women who feel that they are doing their duty and doing it well, even though they are not participating. Yeah. This one says there's some women with one child, but her and the father ain't together and really would like to give her child a sibling. And the child keep asking for a brother or sister. Now, this particular scenario, I can tell you, I know women who will go back. I heard, and I'm going to tell you the exact words. I know somebody who went back to her baby father, even though they weren't together anymore. And he had already moved on. And she asked him kindly. And guess what? Guess what her rhetoric was? She said, she does not want to have she doesn't want a patchwork. That's her exact words. She doesn't want patchwork. She wants all cut from the same cloth. And I thought it was rather absurd. I'm like, but you and so ain't together no more. This boy done move on. Like, what a request. And funny enough, do you know that he actually initially thought about it and said, well, you know what? You ain't no bad baby mommy. You're not nagging. You're not, one of them crazy set. And he actually, because he was not in something serious with anybody at that particular moment, he actually agreed. And now she has two children by the same baby father based on an agreement. So the difference is with him, because he had one with her already, he still assumed all responsibility for this child because, like he said, this is his child. Um, in a lot of cases, I think it's where women would like to make arrangements where, okay, you just do me this favor, make your donation, and we don't ever have to see you. You don't, I'm not taking you to court. I'm not making any demands. You don't have to even, there's no money. Absolutely looking for nothing. There are women that are actually looking to make those kinds of arrangements. But for women to actually give consent is the question, based on the fact that you cannot fulfill your duties at all times. Do you think we're going to get to a place here in the 242? Not again, Don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about men who decide just to have multiple women just because they are big. All right. I'm talking about women, A, understanding that first, again, pointing finger at self, knowing that they cannot fulfill their duties as woman, as wife, um, every day of the week. So you decide to kind of subcontract somebody else to take up some of the load. And in the cases that I know about, they are a part of the process. And when I say part of the process, they know who it is, they agree to who it is, um, and they're cool with who it is. Now, here's where it gets tricky. When the who it is decide that they don't want to be second fiddle anymore and want to run to first base, then the question is, are you opening a can of worms by even allowing one to start off on second base? AJ says, what if the woman pay it? What if the woman goes to the wife and say, I'll pay you to borrow your husband's manhood? What? Pay? Okay, so we don't have sperm banks here in the Bahamas. And I think a lot of people would actually use that as an option. Maybe you need to go to the States. I know somebody who did that too. Ooh, I just remember. I know somebody right here, and she pretty much jotted down exactly what it is she wanted in a child. She is of dark complexion. She always had this from childhood. She always had this desire to have, she personally wanted to have flowing hair and, wet and go kind of hair, as they call it. And when it came to producing a child, she went to the bank and she filled out exactly what it is she wanted. She wanted a Caucasian child with whatever kind of hair and blue eyes, and she picked the whole 9 yards. And she has that child. All right. But again, you and I both know to go to the bank, it may be a little costly. Not everybody can afford, to do it that way where you can curtail exactly what it is you want and pay for it. The cheapest way is still the natural way. All right. But how many people, how many women in particular, would be okay with even entertaining that thought that, not necessarily where it's going to end up in, somebody producing a child, but giving somebody, you know, the side hustle, the side contract, the subcontract, just to please your significant other. Now, I know this is where it gets tricky because we live in a very, very religious, AKA Christian nation, where you should never be encouraging people to step out of their marriages. But the truth be told, that is an everyday occurrence. So, do you think we're going to get to the point here in the 242 where those things will be permissible without no fuss, no fight, none of that? Just food for thought. All right. Ain't pushing the agenda. I'm just saying. The question was brought to me. A young lady said, you think, when you get tired, you can't deliver. What do you do, or what do you expect the man to do? We'll continue this one because I want to ask the men their thought on this as well. But we're out of time. Y'all know what to do. Top of the hour. Drive at 5 comes your way. Yours truly, the Natural Empress, DJ AI. You know what it is right here on your hit station. We're Star 106 Hits.
Yes, Tony Farms. I don't think I chose founding. I think founding chose me. I didn't miss a award, but
See y'all.
definitely give us the funding.